Hello everybody. Today we've got another product from Maxpedition. This is the Maxpedition Pico Pocket Organizer. Stay tuned. What we have here today is the Maxpedition Pico Pocket Organizer. This is product number 0263. And what this is, it's a compact pocket organizer. It's just like 3 inches by 5 inches. You can see super compact. So my hand even stuffed. I got this thing stuffed to the gills. My hand still wraps all the way around it. This one is made with 500 denier nylon fabric, genuine YKK zippers, Duraflex hardware, the same quality build you expect from all Maxpedition products. This does have a 2-inch by 3.5 inch loop field on the back that you can put morale patches, ID patches, anything you want here on the back. It does come in multicam, as you can see here, which is probably my favorite. Also comes in black, OD green, and khaki, and I think wolf gray as well. So lots of options from Maxpedition. You know, if you've watched my channel in the past, you've seen a lot of the pocket organizers I've had on this channel used in various ways, toolkits and such. I'll show you how it kind of compares to some of them. This is one of the smallest of the pocket organizers, if not the smallest. You compare that to the Maxpedition Micro, which to this point was probably my smallest of this style of organizer. Again, this one is empty, this one's loaded out, but you can see the size. There is a significant size difference in them. Even with this one being so small, then you compare that to the Maxpedition Mini pocket organizer. Again, look at the size difference in that. And I know this is sort of a different category, but we got the Maxpedition Beefy. Again, very small compared to that one. So let's dive into this and show you some of what we got this loaded out with and some of the possibilities that you may want to load this out with. So as you can see, we got a mesh pocket here in the front. Again, the Velcro in the pack. We have a pull handle. You always got real high quality zippers. This Maxpedition stuff, YKK, just gets better over time. I'll show you, we'll unzip this and show you what's on the inside. You can see here on the inside, we've got this loaded out with kind of a pocket toolkit. Now, I would consider this a true pocket toolkit. In the past, some of these, you know, you might would consider this a pocket organizer. Again, it's what it's labeled as. This as well as a pocket organizer, but this is really stretching the boundaries of a pocket. This you could consider like a cargo pocket, but I consider these in the past to be more of a dash or just nearby kit rather than a true front pocket organizer. This whole different ballgame as far as compact size. As you can see here in the front, we do have the Knipex Cobras. This is the 8701 125s. I will say this is one thing that I had to consider with this pouch is in the way I've got it configured, I kind of had to make choices on what I was going to put in this. With these bigger pouches, I've always run at least 2 sets of pliers, sometimes more. With this pouch, I tried about every way I could with again, getting the other items I wanted in here to make it work with 2 pliers, but really I just had room for the one, but it does fit these 125s about perfect in the Knipex sizes. But here is where I sort of had to make the sacrifice when I went to this smaller size. Normally I would have this pair. This pair of pliers is my favorite combination of all the what you would call EDC pliers. This is the Pliers wrench and the Cobra together, both the 125 size. I tried every way I could to make these fit with this other stuff in here. Just couldn't do it. So if I was coming down to just one and I was just going to pack one set of small pliers, it's hard to beat these Cobras. Again, you can do a lot of the same stuff with these that you can with these. There is some things this will do that this won't. Of course, you don't want to, as far as marring bolts and things, But if I had to pick one, I might have to go with these. But this is a wonderful set of pliers. So moving on, we do have a ratchet here. If you've watched some other videos, you've seen this Tone ratchet. It does have the quick release. It is a flex head. Really high tooth count, you can probably hear here. Really nice ratchet. These are made in Japan. Super high quality. If you've not checked out the Tone stuff, I do recommend that. Staying along the same line of thinking, I do have the Koken extensions. These are what will be comparable to a snap-on wobble plus. You can see these are made in Japan too. Or get a focus on that for you. Got 255 on the side of it. Here is the part number, 2763-100. I do have one of these sockets that wouldn't fit my organizer stored on the end of this. You can see this one is a 6mm stored on the end of that, but we'll dive into that more here in a second. I do have a couple of these, and what the Wobble Plus is for a snap-on, and then Koken's version is you've got a straight extension when it's pushed all the way down. You see that's a straight, good, solid extension. Pop it out a little bit, and you do got a wobble. You got a sort of what you would call sort of the best of both worlds. You can see that deflection. It's a really nice wobble, and then you pop it and have a straight. So you got two extensions in one. I will say, I do have the Wobble Plus, and I've got these Kokens, their version of it. The Koken, in 90% of its attributes, I think is better than the Snap-on. I do like the knurling better on it. I feel like you get a little bit more deflection with this one on the wobble, and I feel like even the straight is more of a positive sort of click and holds in there a little bit better. Of course, not taking away from the Snap-on, and that the Snap-on is super high quality, but this is another good option. I do have a couple more of these extensions, different sizes. You can sort of put this combination together to get whatever length you need and to get that extra deflection. Also compact and store so well. This is a Gedore. What this is a 1/4 inch square to a 1/4 inch hex adapter to let it be able to take bits. I do have this little row of bits here. These are all Milwaukee. You got your number 1, number 2 Phillips, and a couple flat sizes, real common flat sizes. What you can do with this, of course, put it on the end of your extension, and now you've got a screwdriver essentially. I pair that with this Wera sliding T handle, and now you've got a T handle with a bit. You can make a nut driver out of it, or for bits. Lots of versatility. Another good high quality product from Wera. This is a German company. I think this particular one's made in the Czech Republic. This also high quality German made product. So to complement that, here in the back, I do have a Ziploc bag. Again, I sort of kept the more common, what I run into on a daily basis here in the front, with a Phillips and a couple common flat sizes. Here in the back, I've got literally 90% of what you could expect to need a bit for. I've got hex, I've got Torx, square, additional Phillips, largers, and then more flats too. Just 90% of what you'd expect to run into, I've got in this baggie. So you can see all that versatility right there. Now on this side, sort of staying with that T-handle approach, and I've shown these in a couple other videos, I've got these Milwaukee. This is an 1/8 inch. I believe this might be a 16th. Yeah, 16th. This is their ones that's got the actual 1/4 inch hex on the end of it. And what you can do with this, you can add this again to your T-handle. And if you need to start pilot holes, so you're drilling something out, you need to start a pilot hole, there you go. You got multiple options of that. You can see the versatility that gives you. And again, we're talking about a pocket kit here. You can already see what has been incorporated in this pocket kit. Now over on this side, this is something that's sort of my own invention here. What I done was I took a pen, just a regular old Bic style pin, and I've wrapped some electrical tape. Got a rubber band on here, got some masking tape, and got some thread tape. And I've got all these different options stored on here if I need it during the day. And what you can do while it's on this roll like this, say you're wrapping it around this extension, you can get it started, and then you got this little compact thing that you can roll it around. Circular motion like that. So really easy way to store tape. Probably could add some duct tape to this as well. I don't see that I use that as much as I do like the electrical tape, but another option there. Now in the back of this, you've probably seen these before too if you've watched the channel and some of our other kits. I've got a full set of metric stubby sockets from Gear Wrench. What this goes from, we'll get you the smallest size. This goes from a 4mm all the way up to a 15. You don't find many 1/4-inch sets that go to 15. This particular one does. I'll try to link it in the description where you can find it. So it goes to 15mm. That's about the extent of what you can do with a 1/4-inch anyway. And I do keep a universal joint. I think this might be like a cheap Pittsburgh one, but in 1/4-inch applications, you're not applying enough torque for it to really make that big a difference. Now these little rubber socket holders, these actually came out of a set from Tractor Supply. It had like some real cheap Stanley sockets in it. I did ditch those and put these, I might have put them in some other kit, but I put these Gear Wrench stubbies in here because they seem to fit really good in these little small kits like this. Easy to carry every day. Now this is where I'm going to come to another one of these situations where this size does sort of limit me. In these other kits that I've had in the past with this and this, you know, the Micro and the Mini, I have been able to put a full set of 1/4-inch sockets, standard and metric. We're talking SAE and metric. I'll show you the way I use them. You can see on this row, this is all the most common SAE sizes from 1/4-inch up to 9/16. And this was stored on one of the Makita impact little rubber boots they send with their impact sockets, 1/4-inch impact. And in these old kits, you can see the length. This just sort of, it just outgrows it. I mean, I could squeeze this in here, but I would have had to lose something else when I'm not using SAE sockets that often. Another thing to consider, you know, we already talked about how when you go down a smaller size, you're not going to be able to fit, you know, multiple of these pliers and have all this in here, is this full, I consider this a full size set of pliers. This is the 145 size from Knipex. This is a needle nose combination. If you've not tried Knipex products, which I mean, I know I'm probably beating a dead horse with this, but you need to try the Knipex products. They're just super high quality. But these do fit a full size set of pliers in the mini size. That's something you're not going to get when you come down to this size. This, it's a little too big for the Micro. I mean, you could have made that work, but it's just, I like my zippers to close easy. I don't want it to be any kind of a strain that makes it not pleasant to use. Another thing, I'll show you some more concessions you kind of have to make when you come to these sort of sizes like this, is I got these Craftsman stubbies. This is 17mm and I've got a 19mm. And you say, well, what are you going to do with that size wrench? You can, you know, interlock them and get that extra amount of leverage two together and maybe get a bolt loose in a pinch. These do fit in this size pocket organizer as well as in the Mini. And then I got a full size, like here's an example of a Craftsman 13mm. It fits in the Mini. Now these just about too big, really. This is too big, and this is again stretching it to where your zippers might be hard to close in the Pico. So all things to consider, but now again, this is a pocket organizer, so you have to give up a little bit when you go to this size. Another thing that I have packed in other kits here is this 1/4-inch driver handle. This is a Proto, good USA made one. It does have, you know, 1/4-inch drive in the pack in the back of it, so it can double as an extension and get that extra leverage to break something loose. I have this in this kit But again, you're going down to this size. That's not an option with this. It's just knowing what it is that it's used for and what to expect when you're buying it as far as what you're going to be putting in it. But you can see, I mean, in a little kit like this, what kind of a tool arrangement we've got set up here. This can conquer most things you come across on a daily basis. At least it does for me. And I really think it's a good option for somebody wanting a good, compact pocket tool organizer. So if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like it, hit this like on this one and subscribe. If you're interested in any of my other videos about my other toolkits in the Maxpedition Micro or the Maxpedition Mini or the Beefy, I can put those links in the description. I'll try to put as many links to the products in this pouch in the description, along with some of my other Maxpedition products. Also, this particular pouch will have an affiliate link in the description. If you want to follow that, you can see that on Amazon. And I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll see you next time.